This show is sponsored by Single Sealed Memorabilia. Find them on Instagram at Singles Sealed Memorabilia and on eBay at Singles and Sealed. Turning their collecting hobby and passion into a shop dream, bringing a variation of wrestling cards to collectors all around the world. They make their own mystery bundles and bring unusual cards to the graded scene. They have 100% positive eBay customer feedback with over 3,000 sales. We do thank Single Sealed Memorabilia for the continued support of the Squared Circle Relics podcast.
And now, presenting from across the pond, it's the Squared Circle Relics podcast.
Hello, and welcome to the show. I forget what episode we're on. Jamie, is it 44? 45?
I'm going to say 44. I'm scrabbling at the notes thinking, is it 40? I can't see. It's 44. It's got to be 44, isn't it?
Let's
go 44.
Like, that's the testament of time of how many shows that we've done and not keeping an eye on stuff. 1 second. Let me just double check because I don't want to be wrong. It's 44. It is 44.
It's 44. Yeah,
43 was called Pikachu Rubber Duck. Yeah. Hilarious.
Does that still haunt your nightmares?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't really think about it until I re-listened to the show a couple of days ago, which I do not. I do, I do like re-listen to the show sometimes because I forget bits. To be honest, my mind is such a weird and wonderful thing, and I do actually forget bits of it. So I do listen to it back sometimes. And yeah, that I forgot about the rubber duck. So yeah, that's pretty
at the moment
insane.
in time.
Yeah, don't get it out today.
Do you,
Anyway, before we go on, it's just Jamie and I today. So the president and Jamie today. No Chris. It's his son's birthday. So happy birthday, Ted.
Happy birthday, Ted.
We'll see you on the next show, mate. No worries. So, Jamie, how you been? You all right?
Yeah, I'm not doing too bad, bud. You're not too bad at all. I do wonder if we should maybe open up the episode one day like Jack and Nori or like the CBB story time. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Squared Circle Relics. And then it just goes downhill from there. Like those drunk Cinderellas used to do with Jim Davison back in the day.
I'm gonna kind of Wade Barrett it. Bad news it.
Yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Maybe, I don't know.
Wade Barrett, I'm sure, will feature later on.
Yeah, several times maybe. Good old Wade. We like Wade. Right. So,
how are you? I haven't asked how are you actually.
Oh well, yeah, I'm okay. I was never ending fucking cold, mate. Never ending fucking cold. So I picked another one up last Friday. Still got it. In fact, I'm probably worse now than I have been since I first got it last Friday. So I'm just, melting away in my own brain at the minute and trying to get to the weekend, trying to get to Gladiators. Saturday night Gladiators.
Saturdays are nice, isn't they?
We haven't talked about Gladiators.
No.
I have not talked about Gladiators.
I'm actually, so if we're going to do what we've been watching in that case, I've been watching Gladiators. I'm 2 weeks behind. So I think the quarters were this weekend, so I haven't seen the quarters. So
yeah. So the guy, I'm not spoiling anything for you, but you remember the first episode, the guy who he was a bit enthusiastic and his eyes are a bit close together. You know the one I mean? He'd done his knee in, his eyes are a bit close together.
That's right, yeah.
He's a bit nookie bear.
With a bit of his afro.
So he goes off injured, and he has a replacement. Like they did. Like everyone was complaining about this, but they used to do this on normal Gladiators.
Yeah, back in the day.
They don't replace with the guy who lost against him. They replace him with just a random guy who is like a stand-in, basically.
Right.
And that guy is a wrestler in the UK.
No way.
Yeah. So, catch up with it on the quarterfinals. So I won't give much detail away other than that. But yeah, it was a bit of a strange one, really. I didn't really know who he was. But yeah, give it a watch, mate.
What have you thought of Gladiators overall, though? Have you enjoyed the series so far?
I mean, everyone's been quite upset with the presenting. Nobody likes that Barney, do they? His son. I think it very much feels like as it did, like, because they obviously did the original Gladiators, and then they tried to revamp it about 15 years ago,
which wasn't the same, really. Yeah,
with Sky, and it was like in a indoor shop, in a indoor sports center or something like that. It just felt really strange. And then, but this has got the feel of the old Gladiators.
It does.
I think it's really good. I think the Gladiators are really good. Big fan of Sabre, the Scottish lady. I think she's really good. She's a very good gladiator. Not sure about the tattoo running up her ass, but she's a very good. She's a very, very good gladiator. Men wise, the what's her name? Diamond as well. The tall blonde lady.
Yeah. So
she is built for wrestling. Like, if she doesn't go into wrestling after this, I'd be very shocked. And of the blokes, I like come from a rugby background. Like, my dad's a big Welsh rugby fan, so I like the guys who are a bit more physical. I think it's the Apollo's definitely one of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's great. I of the new games, I like the one in what's it called? Over the Edge, where they've got to go on like balance beams from one to the other, basically, and
with the holes in the middle.
Yeah, a lattice of balance beams, basically, and they got to get knocked off into a net. And I like that one. There's been a couple of injuries on that, actually.
Yeah, it has.
So, what are your thoughts on it?
You know what? I think it's really nice. I'm kind of the same belief as you with the presenting. I mean, there is quite a big thing around, obviously, his father-son duos. You got like Martin and Roman Kemp, and Bradley and Barney.
I think Martin and Roman Kemp would have been better, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know if they necessarily always work, though. I think they've always got this, there's instant chemistry there. But I think if you had another duo, even if you went back to the old days, like Fashanu and Ulrika Johnson, like they're not the ideal duo, but they worked well together. I think you could probably find two presenters otherwise.
I reckon it would be brilliant for it. Ryland and his mother. I think that would be hilarious. Can you imagine that as a duo for gladiators? There's American people listening to this going, "What the fuck is that?
Who the hell are these two?"
Yeah, but
no,
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I think it just feels like it's been plucked out. I like that I don't think it's in the NEC, but it does feel like it's in the NEC, which gives it that nice feel. Oh, Sheffield Arena, is it?
Yeah, Sheffield, yeah.
And some of the games are pretty good as well. Like, all the original ones are still there. I like the tag where they've got to like dive and hit the tag in the middle. That's quite a nice one.
Yeah, power up, as I say. But yeah, that's really quite cool. But that's like the rugby element for me as well. You know what I mean? There's a lot of flying tackles in there. Sounds a bit rude, actually.
It's quite nice as well to see so many of the gladiators when they come on as contestants as well, who are like, "Oh, I loved it growing up," or "My dad was a contestant back in the day and I wanted to do him proud." And all these people, like, they're all really fit people. Like, they do CrossFit or they cross-train and even the gladiators themselves and stuff. Like, they are just absolute specimens, aren't they? Like, they are just all-round athletes.
I think the one thing, like, we need to move on to wrestling stuff, I'm sure. There is one thing we need to address before we get into the wrestling stuff, actually. But the one thing from Gladiators that I don't think they should do anymore, maybe two things. So the wall, because like back in the day, like in the 90s, right, there wasn't a lot of climbing walls. So it was a bit of a, it was, but like you go into any gym now, it's got a fucking climbing wall. So it's kind of a bit of a waste. You expect the people to win it, right? They're always exactly. They should be able to outrun, and generally they do. There's been a lot of foot grabbing and like
shoes
flying off the shoes, which we didn't normally see, but that's a common thing. duel as well. Generally, it's like you're pitting someone who's like 5'6" against fucking,
Bionic, who's 6'6".
You know what I mean? And it's like, well, who's going to win this then? And he's like gnawing at his calves to try and get him off. It's like, that's not going to work.
No.
So yeah, I those two. I know that they're like gladiator events that from the past, right? But did we really need them? I do miss the sphere one. You remember like the little gerbil spheres that they used to go around?
The Zorb balls, yeah.
The Zorb ball, metal Zorb balls, basically. That's the one thing I kind of miss. I love that was quite cool.
It might come back. They do rotate the games quite nicely, don't they, throughout the series? So they might.
It's not been on this series, but
no, it's not appeared yet.
If it comes back for next series, I'd love that. Or there's loads of different ones, Slingshot and stuff like that they haven't done. So, yeah, I'm a big fan. Like, obviously here, I'm a big fan of Gladiators, but Trav as well is a big fan of Gladiators, and he's very jealous that we have Gladiators back in the UK. So
he should be able to get it on iPlayer. I'm sure if he has a way, iPlayer should be accessible to him if he ever wants to watch the Brit one. I'm sure. I'm
surprised they haven't stuck it on BBC World, to be honest.
Yeah,
but not the same in other countries, I don't think. But
no, but yeah, I am really enjoying Gladiators, and I think we done a full 90s night the other weekend. We actually watched Gladiator, then we found an old Generation game on YouTube and watched a Generation game. So this is
with
a
Bruce,
good Saturday night. No, Jim Davison one.
Jim Davison.
So Jim Davison was my Generation game host. So
I got a story about Jim Davison.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. So I went. I can say. So I went to see a friend's relative who had a boat moored in Southampton, and he looked up at me and just went, "Do you know Jim Davidson?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and he's like, "He's behind you." I was like, "All right, Jim." And he's like, "All right, mate, how you doing?" Yeah. I was like, "This is so fucking weird." And he had the boat in front of this guy's boat in Southampton. So I spent the afternoon drinking beer with Jim Davidson.
Wow, that's a story and a half.
Yeah, it was a bit weird. So if anyone's wondering from over the pond who Jim Davidson is, he's known for being a bit of a racist. He's
of his time comedian, I think.
Of his time comedian, who, he's been synonymously known of late as being a bit of, a bit on the edge, basically, isn't he? Really? So I don't. He's the own.
I mean, when he was on the Generation game, he done that role really well, like this TV-friendly presenter. And obviously, he was always good for game shows
as well. Big break.
Big break. Yeah,
exactly. It was just his stand-up, which was a bit
after dark stuff.
Yeah, close to the edge.
But no, it's good. It was good.
Okay.
Back to wrestling.
But before we go to the wrestling, you pranked me last time. Don't do this again. So
what did I do?
Do you not remember?
No.
You're talking about Sharp at the end of the show last time. I'm thinking to myself, why the fuck is Jamie talking about Sharp? Why is he going so into fucking Sean Bean and the ins and outs of Sean Bean? And you told me afterwards, and it made perfect sense. But I didn't know that you were doing this. So synonymously, our shows are generally around 2 hours and 4 minutes. Like a lot of our shows are 2 hours and 4 minutes, and you were trying to hit the 2 hour 4 fucking minute mark and not tell me, and I'm there going, what the fuck is he talking about? So yeah, well done, mate. Well done. You were so close, I know, but that was a good wind up, to be honest. That was very funny. I'm just sitting there for like 5 minutes going, why the fuck are we still talking about Sean Bean?
This is a throwaway comment. Now we're going through his entire repertoire.
Why are we examining what he did in 1992? I don't understand anymore.
There's a big gap between 94 and 97. What was he doing then?
Fucking
Sharp
awesome.
12.
Thank you for that. That did. I went to bed laughing after that last episode. So thank you for that.
Right.
Okay. Well, we're going to talk about banana stuff. Let's the bananas, BANAS. Let's talk about the world of WWE right now and their WrestleMania event. What have we been watching? Wow, Jamie, reactions. Are you surprised it's Cody versus Roman?
Not well. I'll say not really surprised. I kind of thought this was always the way, and I think maybe there was maybe some cross wires. I think there's been the rumour, isn't it, that Rock had always signed on for Mania when he joined TKO, and that message didn't get through. I don't know, but I mean, it's going to be a good Mania. I'm really looking forward to Mania this year. More so, I was looking forward to it last year. I think because of Austin returning and the big Cody match, but this year it seems like it's going to be a good couple of nights. I think so far, shaping up quite nice.
I mean, the thing is, it's fucked up all of my diatribe that I did on the last show about what's going to happen in the next 14
Your plan.
months. My plan of action. But I don't know, like, I think the easiest thing to say is The Rock is going to cost Cody. And then it sets The Rock and Cody up for SummerSlam. It sets up my vision of Cody winning the Rumble for the third time and then finally beating him. But it just feels too lazy for The Rock to intervene and prevent it from happening. And there's been a lot of back and forth with Cody and Seth about you're not going to go through this alone kind of thing. And it just doesn't, I don't know, something feels very off and I'm not 100% sure what it is.
I do wonder whether or not there is, because I didn't watch SmackDown live, but I saw the clip, obviously, the Rock and the promo with them all standing there doing the finger up in the air. Rock, I don't think Rock does sort of the sideman thing that well. Like, he still strikes me as now the bigger act within the group. Like, Roman Reigns doesn't feel like the big star of that group, so it does feel like the Rock doesn't seem to be the good fit there, you know?
The bloodline of domination. As soon as he came out in the Armani, I think, to be honest, there was a sign that I think we all ignored that potentially may have led to this, and that is because Ava became the general manager of NXT, and that happened like a month or so ago now. And I'm thinking, I even thought that was strange back then. Like, that's like a real heel thing to do. Like, you take over the company and you make your daughter like the manager of the brand. And if you think about it now, that's kind of a heel thing that, you know what I mean? It happened as like a precursor to what was going to happen with The Rock. So I seriously don't know how WrestleMania is going to go at the minute. I think there's going to be more twists and turns.
Yeah, I'm still going to place my bet that by the end of Mania, Roman's going to lose everything. I think he'll lose the tag match, and Rock or Solo will turn on him. He'll lose the belt at Mania, and it'll be like the breakdown of Roman Reigns. Like, he'll have nothing left. He'll lose the whole lot. I think that's going to be, and he will then go off for a bit, and then come back. You know, then to maybe avenge Rock or something. You know.
So you think Roman's going to lose his belt at 40?
I think Roman's going to lose the belt and lose the tag match. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That's my big call, and then he'll go away and come back for SummerSlam or something.
Well, the way it's going, anything can fucking happen at the minute. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, they were talking about CM Punk having a match, weren't they? Still.
Oh, fucking hell. One-arm Punk. Yeah.
One-arm Punk, exactly.
But what are you thinking about the Elimination Chamber Down Under? The Chamber Down Under.
That's this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah,
I thought
Saturday.
it was on this weekend. Yeah, no,
Saturday morning. I think, by the way, cheap plug as well, because I think obviously our friends over at Card Tricks are doing a watch-along, break-along on when Elimination Chamber is happening on this weekend as well. So head over to the Whatnots.
An early start then.
Yeah. So, have you seen the matches for it?
Not really. I mean, I have been following WWE obviously with the main event scene, but I'm not really up to speed with the rest of it. So
yeah,
you
well,
have to fill me in here.
the Elimination Chamber is obviously, I think, is going to be Drew. And the female winner is going to be Becky, because it's going to be Becky versus Rhea at WrestleMania, I think, and I think it's going to be Drew.
They've teased that as well, haven't they?
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's pretty straightforward. I think it's a foregone conclusion, that side of it all, anyway. But we'll see.
Isn't Jade in the chamber? Have they rumoured Jade in the chamber?
I can't remember, and I can't even bother to look it up, to be honest. But Becky's going to win.
Yeah,
it's going to be Becky versus Rhea. So
yeah,
it has to be. All right. Probably we should mention two more things. I mean, I don't really. Is there any point mentioning AEW?
I mean, we're on the road to Revolution, so we only got 10 days or so left to Revolution. So, anyway, spoiler alert for Dynamite.
But has anything happened?
Yeah, so Hangman may be injured. There's rumour he might have fucked his ankle last night, so he now be out the main event. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that.
Oh, I think that's kayfabe, isn't it?
It's a bit
feels kayfabe to me. That
someone related it a little bit to Brett and Sean, with Brett, in the wheelchair, saying you took my spot with Swerve and maybe going that way, but we'll see. It was and then Wardlow cut the promo of his life, basically saying that he's already beaten Punk, he beat MJF, he's beaten Samoa Joe. Why has he not got a title shot? So Wardlow's going to be in the picture next.
Because he's fucking Norwich City of AEW. That's why. Go on.
I mean, yeah. It's all true though. He was saying it was the hottest thing, and he was at one point.
Well, he was, but then he kept getting injured, and then he lost where Max took that brass ring. Wardlow wasn't trusted to because of his injuries,
and he was gone.
So, he kept coming back and kept going again, didn't he? So, I don't know.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. I was the biggest fan of his at the start, but there was something just missing there, and I don't know what it was. If he can find that fire again, brilliant.
I think he's really good at squash matches, but I've never seen him still in a longer match than those big powerbomb squashes. And it's like, actually, what would a title run of Wardlow actually be? Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, things are heating up. Things are, bubbling on quite nicely with Revolution. I mean, I think we're all waiting to see if Sasha Banks is probably going to crop up. Like we say, it's going to be mid-March, don't they? So that's a given now. So it's all moving on to that now, isn't it, really?
And we got Will next.
We got Will as well. Yeah, pretty much. Against Takeshita, yeah.
Okay, cool. So, obviously mentioned the madness. All of this is bananas this week because there's loads of banana stuff going on. So TNA have gone fucking imploded as well.
Jesus Christ, yeah. No.
So this is not necessarily what you're watching on the screen. This is what's happening behind the scenes. So basically, they let go of Scott D'Amore, who has been there for time and has navigated through rough waters with Impact / TNA for many years.
Yeah,
they let him go. Well, I believe they fired him, and pretty much
Anthem put one of their own execs in, didn't they? Who hadn't really known the wrestling business at all. So,
and pretty much all of the wrestlers have gone, we're just biding our time down on our contracts, and we're going to go. So, apart from Moose. I didn't see Moose do that. It's all about Moose anyway.
Moose is happy to get a paycheck.
Yeah, fuck the rest of them. More Moose. So all good with TNA, I'm sure. But and the last thing, Rev Pro, High Stakes, with their relationship with AE Dub. We have to mention the UK scene when we can on the show. Promising. They had Orange Cassidy back in. And he was in a 7-way scramble for that weird title that he has.
International title, yeah.
And he won. Spoilers, sorry. He retained. But yeah, it's nice to see that relationship is growing and blossoming with AEW. So good on him.
In some ways, we've spoken about this before, but the Brit scene does really need an injection of something in some of the more well-known promotions to give them that bit of life.
It's pretty dead at the minute, isn't it? To be honest, they've been using some of the same talent for a long time, and it doesn't seem to be moving forwards that much.
I think if you've got this element of getting people to go to a Rev Pro show, like on Dynamite last night, they were talking about that Rev Pro show so much. They showed clips of Rev Pro. They mentioned it 2 or 3 times. He mentioned it in his promo. So they've got a working relationship. If you can go to a Rev Pro show and you think there may be an AEW talent here, you're going to get people through the door paying 10 quid just on the off chance that somebody may just rock up through the door. And I think that just gets a bit of a buzz, So let's hope so. Let's hope it's going to be a long relationship with them.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of Rev Pro. It was always my like, with Southside being your show, Jamie. Rev Pro was my show. Like a lot of people, it's Progress. Rev Pro was always mine. Because that was the show I went to more than anything else. But more so at like York Hall and like the big events and stuff like that. Loved it, and had some great nights out there. Some very good drunken nights out there. It was very fun. But obviously, WWE killed our scene with NXT UK, right? So we haven't recovered from it since then, and it'd be nice to see. And I think this relationship with AEW, which Rev Pro have always had a relationship with New Japan, they've had some kind of relationship with AEW in the past, but nothing so connected. So it's nice to see that moving forward.
I mean, I would, a bit of fantasy booking here. I would like to see us get to the point. We used to do the PCW ROH super shows. I would like to see like a Rev Pro Ring of Honor super show type thing. I think you would be able to get a good audience back and forth for that, even if you've done it over a weekend in the US and done another date here or something. Like that could be quite a lucrative thing to do.
Well, they used to do them with New Japan, but cast them as New Japan. Like I had a New Japan show in Milton Keynes. I had that WCPW twice in Milton Keynes. I got to see Ray versus Ospreay. That was a good. And who was the other one? Kurt Angle versus El Patreon, the Alberto Del Rio.
Alberto Del Rio, yeah.
Yeah. So like those big shows where you draw like over 1,500 people plus. Actually, I think those shows were like 5,000 if you looked online or something like that. But ultimately, big indie shows, that's what you need to be pushing for. Yeah. And I think Rev Pro should be doing that by now.
I think there's definitely enough gap there to do that, So,
yeah, 100%.
Watch this space. I think even if someone like a Willow turn up at Rev Pro or something, like that would be a name that appear out of nowhere, So, yeah.
Yeah. Right, we'll move on to card news. Oh my God. How do we, the last 2 weeks, I'm not going to say bananas again. It's just, how to describe this?
I mean, Panini are definitely back in business with WWE.
Well, I think the best way that I can describe this, right, is relating what Panini have done for pornography. The similarities. Back in the day, the pornography was hard to find. You couldn't find it anywhere generally, and what you found was little to none. And then the internet happened, and then pornography was everywhere. Panini have had this pornography moment on the internet. It's just gone from nothing to 100% in the space of a couple of weeks. It's everywhere. Well done. So Panini Porn, maybe this show gets called this week, but ultimately they've just gone everywhere with their product. We could obviously see this coming because of the lawsuit, right? They basically they had delays of product. They knew it was going to come out at some point. TCGs and NFTs, all of which that was all part of this lawsuit. The only thing is we all didn't think they were going to drop it all at the same fucking time. But hey, I mean, should we complain? Not really.
Considering that a month ago we were sitting there thinking, oh, the next product we're going to have out is probably going to be the Leaf set, and we may have some Elite Donruss, we may have a bit of this. And then for things to suddenly appear up there, we're like, bloody hell. So, yeah, we've got lots of Panini news this week.
Yeah, so I'll try to run it chronologically with regarding what's happened with the products. We'll get that out of the way. So we're not having a top 5 Mega 5 this week. We're having a big topic, and the big topic is going to review Adrenalyn, Donruss Elite NFTs, and Donruss Elite. So it's a big topic that we're going to cover in a bit. But I'll just go through. So Panini Donruss Elite NFTs were released. First off the line came first. They were at $20 and they sold out. And then a couple of days later, the normal packs came out of the NFTs and they were $10. So we'll go through more of that later on in the show. Obviously, we've got the purchases of the week to discuss about as well as going into the review of the product. So that's happened. Panini Adrenalyn XL, that's the TCG, the card game, that came out in the UK, I want to say.
I think it's a European release as well, but it's our UK release as well here, isn't it? So, yeah.
So that was supposed to come out on the 19th, and I think generally it did on their website. Boxes were around £45, but for some reason in WH Smith's, which is our like local brand of corner shop kind of esque, like what would you call it? News agents, sorry, news agents. So yes, but like very branded news agents basically, and they came out. When did they come out? They came out the Friday before.
They came out the weekend before. Yeah, we saw pictures of them in the shops. Yeah,
so I think the 19th was supposed to be a Monday. Yeah, was that Monday?
Yeah, Monday was the 19th. Yeah,
and it came out the Friday before, so like the 16th. Okay, and we'll review those. So Panini Donruss Elite has come out on the 21st. That was yesterday. Draw back the curtains. This is Thursday. It came out on the Wednesday, day before. The prices for that are around 225. I've seen them lower, around 200 as well, and I've seen them higher, about 250. So, and this is dollars. And I think in the UK, you're looking at around 250 quid-ish. Mm-hmm. So the prices are all over the place. We did see, before the 21st, on that Saturday, I think it was, so on the 20th. So, oh no, my timings are all over the place. So it 17th. Was on the 17th. Yeah. Yes. On the 17th, we did have a jewel case break from Junior on Whatnot. Ooh,
and that was really early as well. Like that came out of nowhere, really. Yeah. So I don't know if he's just near where they are, or if like his shop gave it to him early. But yeah, crazy.
He just said he doesn't know why he got it so early. But give him a big ooh. That's all he does on his show. I love him for it, but it's a weird sound that he makes. But we'll review that in a bit. So Leaf Metal Legends Wrestling. I've said that right, Jamie.
It's even written right.
First of the third, I believe, but we're still waiting really for confirmation of that.
So that was supposed to be out next week, and that seems to be pushed out a little bit now. Not massively, but only by about a week or so. Mm. So that's a little bit delayed now. But again, the prices for that, you're still looking sort of upper, what you said, between 400 and 500 for that still. So
yeah, mega money. Panini Impeccable. A little thing to go back onto the last show. You know, we were talking about the CM Punk card, him on the stage. That's actually from Impeccable. That wasn't. We were like thinking that was from Donruss Elite, but that's from Impeccable. So that is the 29th of the 3rd. Pre-orders are on blowout right now. Believe it started on 1,000, and then they upped it to 1,200.
Yeah,
it's double the price of last year.
This is crazy.
More so double the price. There's so many explanations of it, like the industry's changed, supply and demand, blah 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 blah, less product. There's loads of reasons people have given. I think it's all regardless. The fact of the matter is, even at half the price, I wasn't into this product. Double the price, still not into I'm double not onto the fucking product. Good luck anyone getting Panini Impeccable. Not for me. The thing is, as well, the card, considering how much money it is, if you look at last year's Impeccable, the quality of the card, especially the thick cards, a lot of them were lipped. I've got one in my collection. A lot of them were lipped because of the cutting machines that they were using.
Yeah.
So not even the card stock is like 100%.
No, I think
so.
I mean, I'm taking a bit of a gamble with that price point. Obviously, there's no checklist for this yet either, so we don't know if there's any big hitters in there. But yeah, for $1,000 to $1,200, like if you are going to buy to sell, you're not getting that money back. Like You can't
even break at that price.
Yeah,
you can't even break at that price. It's ridiculous.
No, it's ridiculous. So buy your spots and do it that way. I think, or wait and pick up what you want because that's a crazy price.
Yeah. So one thing we normally don't mention, but we didn't hear some news about it, so we thought we'd throw it into the mix. BBM Women's Wrestling 2024. It's coming out early May. So if you want to get your hands on your shids, now's the time. I believe they're on pre-orders.
Yeah, and they normally sell out quite quickly as well, don't they? I don't think they hang around because they're normally quite generous as a release and what you're going to get hit-wise.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't hang around too long. I will double check with Tommy and the guys on this because I thought this always came out earlier on in the year. I didn't think it was always May time, but I'm not an expert in the BBM side at all. But
Not a clue.
But they're always priced really keenly as well, aren't they?
Yeah, it's about 50 quid, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, they're a good price. So as a novelty thing to open up, if you've never opened a box before, definitely pick one up. But if you're a diehard collector, they're on pre-order now.
So AEW Metal and Flagship TBD. We have no idea when that's coming out. They did release a couple of new arrivals cards. We didn't cover the last one on the last show, which was actually a miss from us. And that was the Bounty Hunter, Keith something or other. He was the last arrivals card. And there's another arrivals card, Queen Ananita, something like that. I don't know her name. So that's come out, I believe, yesterday.
Okay.
Bought any of these two people? I have no idea who the fuck they are. Okay.
I haven't bought anything at all, to be honest, on that side of things.
Does anyone care about AEW product right now? No.
I'm focusing so much on completing the last couple of years, match day moments and gold and new arrivals. I just haven't bought anything new arrivals, and they come and go so quickly and so unannounced. Like, I don't even think you even get a banner at the bottom of Dynamite now to say this is now available. So I normally miss them now, to be fair.
And nobody cares about AEW new products at the minute. It's Panini.
Too much else going on.
Yeah, too much else going on. One thing before we move on to our normal bits and pieces. So Gary from our ATP group. So he is part of the Squared Circle Relics podcast Facebook group as well. Gary Lee. So with 2 R's, Gary with 2 R's. He's created a Japanese guide for newbies, basically. So the guide basically it gives a good starter to what Japanese cards are, what to look for, you may want a PC, you may want to invest in. So it's a good little guide. I think it's really, really cool and really promising for the future. Really good. What he's trying to do. Nobody else is doing that for us English speakers at this point, really. So good on him. If you want to learn more, come over to the Squared Circle Relics Facebook group. Go and speak to Gary.
Cool. I mean, I haven't had a chance to dive in real deep, but when Gary mentioned it to us, I had a look through on there. Like you said, no one else is doing it. And someone like myself who knows obviously the basic BBM stuff and, you know, what sets and what people look out for, just that knowledge base of Japanese wrestling cards, you know, across the whole genre, the knowledge is amazing, really. So, yeah, really check it out.
I'll get him to put a post in the Facebook group about it as well. I might pin it actually for a while.
Yeah, definitely.
It's probably a good idea because stuff like that is invaluable. You know what I mean? This is what we're all about, is givers of knowledge. If we've got it, we're going to give it to you if you want it.
No, yeah, definitely.
God, I sound really perverted today. I don't mean to. It's been a long week, guys. So thank you for Gary for doing that for us. Like, well, not for us personally, but for the hobby. You know, that's what the hobby needs. So love it. I'm sure Johnny will love that as well, to be honest. I haven't spoken to him about it. I will do. So we'll move on to Jamie's Corner.
Oh, well, I'm going to go off topic just a little bit, really. I know we don't, obviously this is for cards, but I'm going to mention something about wrestling figures a little bit first of all. Because in the same kind of vein as Gary, down with the figures. But this is something, again, like someone who's done this for the love of what they do. So there's a guy on Twitter called Carl Peterson. He does a lot of YouTube stuff around toys and, you know, wrestling figures and stuff like that. So many people will probably know him on YouTube, but he put on his Twitter feed.
Sounds like an extra from Family Guy. Carl Peterson.
Carl Peterson.
Clam chowder with Carl Peterson.
I always ask if he's an extra, see what he says. Yeah. But he's also wrote a book around the Jakks Pacific Classic Superstars. So I was a big fan of these growing up. Now, the book is 700 pages long, and it actually gives details of every Classic Superstars figure, when they were released, which ones never come out, and stuff like that. So it's a bit of a biopic for people who like those Legends figures. He hasn't done any pre-orders or anything for it yet, but he has nearly finished it. So, yeah, for any figure collectors, do check him out on Twitter, because I think this is a hell of a thing to try and put together.
Or just go and listen to the Major Figure Wrestling podcast show.
And go through it.
Either that one or that one.
But yeah, kudos for someone to spend time getting a book or writing things down, because, you know, it's such a niche knowledge that people just will lose otherwise. So yeah, good on him for doing that.
You know, I miss Jakks. Like, I mean, I grew up at Hasbro's because I grew up in the 80s, and then when obviously Jakks was like, I was chasing women and alcohol. So when I was 15. So I missed all the Jakks stuff, basically. So yeah, it never really appealed to me that much, but it is fun looking at some of the old figures that they did, to be honest.
I mean, for me, like, they were the first figures I had in my teens where I could have a Sabu or a Terry Funk figure, you know, and being able to play as a kid with The Rock versus Terry Funk and them being the same size was mind-blowing for me. So a lot of nostalgia there for me with that. So
yeah, cool, man.
So yeah, on Jamie's Corner side of things, so I won't go into much detail here now, but there are going to be somewhere some buyback AEW style Squared Circle Relics podcast cards. More details to follow on that in the coming weeks. But yeah, there are going to be some buyback cards on the way, so we'll share more details. So something a little bit to look forward to there to whet your appetite. Limited signed cards, so watch out for those.
I still haven't done mine yet.
Don't tell them that.
But I can do them now. Like, while your corner's on, I can do a few.
Do some signings. So yeah, there's some AEW buyback style cards on the way, but we'll give you more details on that in the future. Instagram wise, we have gone to 250 Instagram followers.
So finally,
had a bit of a
forever.
Push. I mean, we were on 249 for a long time, and I thought that will go. Doing the daily posts.
I kept looking, mate. Going, why is this not moved?
Thing is,
really
as well, like, there was a lot of people liking posts as well who had never liked things before. And I was like, this is so peculiar. But anyway, so we tipped there. We got to that next hurdle. So yeah, so well done to Alan in our Facebook group. He was the 250th follower. And I have just said to him that I'll sit you a little prize pack. So it's nothing super expensive, but I've just put a little bundle of cards together for you, and that'll be on its way.
Can we do something else for him? Like, if we'll do a whip round, maybe get his nipple pierced or something like that.
Yeah, I don't fancy that, Lloydy.
Well, no, it's not for you, it's for him.
Oh, well, if he wants it.
He might want it.
He might want it. I'll ask him. Ask him what he wants.
Just, we can either have cards or your nipple pierced. It's either one, mate. So, it's Alan decide.
Well, he starts a new job on Monday, he was telling me today, so maybe he wants something new for his new job.
Yeah, what a bloody nipple.
An infected nipple from a dodgy piercing.
An infection, an oozing nipple.
I think I'll stick to the cards, Lloyd. I'll just send him his prize pack of cards.
Wouldn't that be great, though? Like something weird and wonderful like that.
What, Square Circle Relics tattoo that you don't really want?
That you don't really want. Forever. On the back of your leg.
We'll get you something you don't want, like a forced PC. So that's the prize pack. So we've got now 250 followers. So
yes. Well done,
let's play a game. When do you think we're going to get to 300? Let's play, and I'll write it down, and we'll see when we get close to it.
Are we talking month or year?
Well, either or.
By the end of the year.
By the end of the year.
Okay. If you keep posting it, so congratulate. Like, you know, you've been posting a lot on there, which has been brilliant. But the more you post, the more activity you're going to get. So it all depends on how much more you post.
Yeah.
So if you post like one every couple of days, I think you'll get there quite quickly.
Well, I'll do one a day,
one a week. Well, there you go.
So we're doing all right.
If you post one a week, you ain't gonna get. If you
algorithm
post
don't do nothing.
You know what I mean? So I reckon positives.
So
and it all depends on how you do as well, like who you do, because that then brings their followers as well, and especially if they like it and stuff like that.
I mean, there's definite trends I've noticed with what people like and don't like. There's a lot of love for the new generation guys compared to the new generation as of now.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So basically, the new ladies, basically, right?
The new ladies, and the old and the 90s wrestlers, they seem to do really well.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
So that's it, really. I mean, I haven't got anything else to add in the corner.
Can you do like a week of like Von Wagner and see how the trend goes?
See what the analytics do.
Nobody likes them. It'd be hilarious. Like Von Wagner would be like the only person like liking it back.
We lose followers.
Yeah. the Von Wagner effect.
That could be a real thing in time. The Von Wagner effect.
The Von Wagner effect.
That's
funny.
They were talking on Twitter today that Von Wagner's been missed off the new 2K game roster once again, and they're saying, when's Von Wagner going to get on the game? It's like, so there's something not going on there.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that's all.
He did get drafted, didn't he?
I think he's main roster, isn't he? Yeah.
But has he actually been on the main roster?
I don't know
like that
really
Odyssey Jones. I don't think that Odyssey Jones ever got on TV.
No.
I think he got drafted to Raw. And then recently he's been doing dark matches on SmackDown apparently, but it's been basically a year and he's never been on TV once. It's amazing. Yeah, fun.
So yeah, no, that's it. So yeah, I haven't got anything more in the corner, Lloydy. So we can work our way over.
Okay. All right. So Chris's Nook wise, so we all have the cards in hand. So update, we all have the cards in hand.
Early as well.
Well, you say that. I got mine. We were supposed to record yesterday, and I got my card yesterday.
Okay.
So theoretically, I got it on the day. Theoretically.
Well, that's not too bad. Yeah, I guess we would have been revealing, wouldn't we? So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So no, it's all good. Look, at the end of the day, we're all ready.
We're ready.
So we'll just do the reveal on the next show. So we're doing a rollover, and I will say slight spoilers. I know what Jamie's is. Jamie knows that I know what Jamie's is, and
that's a story for next week.
We may have a DQ potential here. it all depends what Chris's views are on it. Chris doesn't know what it is yet, but I don't know. We were discussing it, and I don't know. I'm going to take your side, Jamie. But if Chris wants to DQ it,
we'll see. I mean, this is Nook. He makes the rules up.
Yeah, you know.
So we'll see.
I think it's going to be quite funny what he's going to say. To be honest. But very good though. Very good, Jamie. I did like it.
I have got a list of like Nook things that I want to do, and I'm desperate to win a Nook at some point. So come on, people, lean my way this time.
No, you can't say that. They just vote with your hearts and your heads, everyone, and boobs obviously as well.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Right.
All right. So not much more for the update on the Nook. I think go to the President's Hole.
President's Hole. Lloydy, what music do you want this week? Now you know.
Can I get athlete, vehicles and animals, please?
Cool. That's more niche.
Yeah, it's the simple things. Yeah, I love it. Well, I'm an indie boy, and so yeah. I'm very much an indie boy. So I thought a bit of indie music. Why not? My hole this week. Let me open my hole up to you all. Liberator of the week. There's not one scheduled yet. Probably next week for the end of the month. Kind of do them for the end of the month.
Payday week.
Payday week, generally. Helps. So, yeah, I haven't thought about a topic yet, but I'll announce it in due time. And, yeah, we'll sort it out. I think, but obviously, if I do it next week, it'll be the week after we announce the winner, right? So, by the next show, you'll probably know who the Liberator of the Week is. So, there you go.
Nice.
But all information on the Squared Circle Relics podcast Facebook group. You need to be on there to try and win. So basically, it's big prizes. You get a signed card from me if you win. If you get 5 cards, i.e. you win 5 times, you will get one of your 5 cards into our Hall of Fame, which is coming up very soon.
Yeah.
And you'll also get a 101. But of me, not of Roman fucking Reigns.
Of a random.
No.
Not
but we've only got like 7 cards left. Jamie, you still haven't won. Oh no. My god! I'm not giving you a pity win. You're gonna. I
don't want a pity win. Nook will want a pity
baby.
Win, not President's
Earn it, baby. Well, you know, worst case scenario, Chris can always give you one.
We'll see.
He's got 2 now. He's very happy with his 2. I had to sign the BB Gang for Life the other day. Blockbuster Gang for Life. I forgot, because we both worked at Blockbusters back in the day. So yeah, very funny.
I started going down a rabbit hole for those Blockbuster video game cards. I want a set of them bad boys.
Oh really?
Yeah, they're really nice. I mean, I don't think you can get them in very nice condition, but they're really nostalgic. They're really cool looking.
Yeah, the one I've got is not that great. Okay, cool. I think that's it for my hole. I don't know if there's much else to go over. More announcement and news stuff next week, obviously, with bits and pieces we've got going on. But, okay, we'll go to purchases of the week.
Purchases of the week.
Well, I've got myself to go down first. So, I think this is going to be really quick, to be honest.
Yeah, I do.
Because a lot of it's NFT related. And I'd rather do that when we do the big topic anyway. Yeah. So, really, the only thing I did buy that wasn't NFT related that I can remember, I got a couple of cards from the Panini NXT set they did a couple of years ago.
Right.
So the parallels on the blasters were green. Mm-hmm. And there's a couple of Bron Breaker greens I haven't got. I found one the other day that I needed, so I bought that.
Are they numbered, the greens?
No,
they're just
green parallels.
Yeah.
So I got one of those that I needed. I was quite happy about that because I haven't seen it around before. And while I was buying that, I also saw a Fakita rookie cards, silver, because the silver ones were actually in the hobby, but they are quite hard to find. You didn't get many of them, so they're quite hard to get. So I hadn't seen the Fakita one, but I got that for Trav because he's more of a Fakita fan than I am.
PCs, yeah.
So I got that for him. I haven't got them yet, but they should be coming over soon. Well, I can say this as well. I did pick up a box of Panini Adrenalyn as well, which we're going to talk in the big topic. So Panini Adrenalyn and NFTs are the things I bought.
The story of the week.
Yeah. Jamie.
I mean, I've really done... So purchase, I did buy a single pack of NFTs just to kind of see what it was all about. So I've got a pack of those. I didn't do too bad. I got a red rooster or so out of 59, I think it is. And then I got a Zoe Stark out of 20. And then I've got a couple of, obviously the number cards.
You got, just for context, you got the first off the line pack.
The first of the line pack, yeah. So, I got then I had a Bron Breaker and I had a couple of others. And I picked up just a couple of singles, but nothing major there really. Done a couple of breaks. Done some breaks this past week. Just picked up a few spots here and there on some select stuff and just some random bits and pieces as I fancied really. So that was really on that side of things. On the actual card physical purchases, I picked up a Tommaso Ciampa for the War Games PC. I picked up the to 10 blue fully loaded Ciampa Auto for War Games for $12, which was in my mind a bit of a bargain. I was well happy with that.
Ciampa's got no love in the hobby, man. Like, his stuff goes for so cheap.
None of those guys like have any love. Like your Bobby Fishes, your Adam Coles, your Keith Lees. I mean, I know their stock isn't great currently, but they were the next generation of guys. At one point that everyone loved. Those main events like were Match of the Year that they had together and stuff. Incredible. So, but they don't get any love on eBay at all. So I picked that up, but that does open up this can of worms that I was going to stop the War Games PC. But now do I need to go after the 10s? So we'll see.
Why not, Jamie? Why not?
Why not? So I'll pick that one up again quite cheap. And I mentioned last time round that I picked up the Rock and Stone Cold Macy's famous scene cards that came in the figure pack.
Yes.
So the actual eBay seller had another set go up on eBay. So I grabbed that as well. I was like, you know what? If they've got a couple, I'm going to pick them up. So I don't know how they've got so many, but I'll pick those up as well. But they came to me last week and they were minty, like absolutely crisp. So I picked those up as well. And again, got a good deal on those. So they're my main purchases, really. Mainly breaks this week more than anything. So, yeah.
You haven't showed me these yet.
Oh,
you got 2 sets of them now.
Well, I've got one set on the way. So I've ordered one and I've got the other set here. That came in my little US packet. But let me see if I've got one.
Yeah, show me one at least.
I can see what
This is great audio. Dead air.
It is, isn't it? Dead air.
Hi, everyone. Sorry.
So that's Backlash 2000, that one.
All right.
So
what's on the side?
What's that?
What's that on the side? It looks like camo.
It's got like a film strip in it.
Oh, it's a film strip. I see.
So it came.
That's really cool, man.
So they came with like the figures, the Jack specific figures, and it came with a little camera when you had the figures, and you could like look through it like a viewfinder. And then on the back, it just tells you all about Backlash 2000.
That's really cool, man. Yeah, definitely put that up on the group so we can all have a look at those because I hadn't seen them before. That's cool. They're
really interesting because this is like they come in a set like the Rock and Austin ones. Like they all link to that era of Rock and Austin. So like the cards, I've got 4 of them. So you've got like the belt going. So
is there 4 of the set? Was there?
In this Macy's one, normally you only got 1 card with the other ones. So there's a Triple H and Cactus Jack one that has 1 card of the Hell in the Cell and stuff, But this box set, cool. This Macy's one, you had 4 in it. So yeah, really pleased.
Nice. Okay, cool.
So yeah, so that's pretty much it for me, really.
Well, we did do a break together last night. So we were both in. So Card Tricks is on Whatnot break for Donruss Elite.
Mm-hmm.
The first Donruss Elite break in the UK.
Yes,
I believe.
Yep. On release day, official release day.
Official release day. So well done, Chris, for holding that for us last night. I believe you had a spot. I had a couple. I had 5 or 6 spots. Didn't get much out of it that I saw, but I didn't watch the whole show. Sadly, my boy was playing up last night. Oh, Stanley update as well. Do you want to? So Stanley's very cute at the minute. So he's
cute in a good way. What's he up to?
Yeah, it was annoying last night. He got up and didn't go to sleep. We had 4 hours sleep last night, and I'm already feeling rough. So rough with 4 hours sleep is great. But yeah, his vocab has started to come along quite well, and so it's hilarious. So obviously, I've got quite a bit of like Jets, the New York Jets, like clothing that I wear around the house, and I've got a Jets hat, and I'll show him the hat and go JETS, and he goes Jets. Very cute. And we've got like a little foam American football, pigskin American football kind of thing, and been chucking that around with him today, and he caught his first ball today.
Oh,
I definitely think
landmark.
Yeah, he definitely wants to be an American football player. He's 2 years old. I might have to move to America, man. Like,
go and see Uncle Trav.
He's not going to get into it. You know what I mean? And we might have to do like an exchange, a Bubba exchange at some point. I think he's going to love it. Anyway, sorry, back to card tricks. So, yeah, I mean, it was a great show last night. Well done, Chris. He was absolutely fantastic. Really entertaining. I'm gutted I didn't get to stay for the whole show.
There's a lot of packs to open in all those.
But that was the thing. It's like even like one case, it's a good couple of hours opening it all because it's obviously it's 20 packs per box, and it just takes a long while. Mm-hmm. So, but good on him. Great show. And yeah, he's got another 2 cases coming in. He's doing one, I believe, this weekend. So great.
Yeah,
you know. So let's move over to the big topic. Before we do that, let's have a word from our sponsor.
This show has been sponsored by SM Cards UK on Instagram. Thank you to Scott for supporting and sponsoring this Squared Circle Relics podcast. If you want to make a deal on wrestling cards, reach out to him directly and follow him wherever you can. Again, that is SM Cards UK. We thank Scott for supporting the Squared Circle Relics podcast.
Okay, so big topic. So don't forget, no top 5 this week, just big topic. And we've got a lot to talk about in the big topic. A lot. So let's start. I think the easiest thing to start off with is Panini Adrenalyn XL. It came out. We don't have a checklist. But what we did... As always.
We never get a new checklist for these UK releases.
Well, the thing is, I don't think there's much of a checklist to have on it. The reason being, it looks like the whole collection is 150-ish cards. Mm-hmm. So I bought a box of it. It was... I bought it from WH Smith's. I went up to the counter. They had 2 boxes. They had one that was open and another one underneath. So I just said, I'll have the unopened box, please. She took it to the counter, ripped it open to scan one of the packs. And I'm like, one of the reasons I bought the back that was shut because I end up doing that myself. But the thing is, it's very in the same ilk. The packaging is very much in the same ilk of what we had with the Panini debut.
Yeah.
Like the box feels exactly the same. The remnants of the box that I had felt exactly the same. The packaging of the cards was exactly the same.
Like that shiny plasticky paper.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think so. It's 100, I believe. Don't quote me on this. I believe it's around 120 cards for the base.
Okay.
And they all have different, like, so AJ Styles has like High Flyer and then I'm just like scrolling through, and you've got like Joe Gacy, mic drop, and then you've got Raquel Rodriguez, powerhouse. You know what I mean? They're all in like different sections like that all the way through.
Okay, yeah.
I've no idea how you play the card game. They've all got different attributes on them.
I think it plays exactly the same as it does for football. Like when they're the Adrenalyn football, like it's the same thing. I think it's like defender, midfielder, and it's like they have different stats. But I assume it's only like top trumps. I guess you play. I have no idea.
Well, the thing is, you got like, this is for kids. This is a product for kids. What people we've spoken about this before on the show, and what people don't understand. Even Gelman didn't understand this. Maybe we'll get round to Gelman in a bit, but when the people from OTP don't understand that the products that get released over in the UK are specific for kids. They do not see a hobby market for trading cards in the UK. They never have done. It's the same in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So what they do believe, though, is that they can sell a trading card game because the likes of Pokemon is still very popular over in Europe, and it's a tested market for that. So they generally sell, and sports cards have never been a thing in the UK, not really, unless you remember cigarillo ones back in the day, cigarette cards back in the day. But ultimately, it's a card game for kids.
Yeah.
So 120 base cards, and then you had champions cards, and I believe they're like 1-1 up to 150, something like that. I don't know what the difference is between the champions cards to the normal card, other than they're black and the people who are on the cards were champions or are champions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's within this calendar year as well. I don't know. I've not seen much of it. I've only seen current stars. I don't think there's any legend champions, is there? I think it's just all current roster champs.
I think it's current, to be honest. Yeah. So the one big selling point of the product was it's full of rookies that we've never seen before in any other Panini WWE products.
Which is a big plus. This has always been a trend with the UK releases, that we always get the first official cards of a lot of these guys. I think because it is such a big, base set. I know obviously with Prism we've had bigger ones since, but we always seem to have quite a varied roster of people on these things, and it's good to see, actually. It does get eyes on it with people who are trying to prospect and stuff. It is quite good.
Like the similarity. So like for when Superstars came out from Topps, we had Gigi Dolan and LA Knight's first cards for WWE. So they have their first mainstream cards, basically. And they go for a pretty penny now. So it's worth... These products are actually worth prospecting, really, to sell to the Americans. Because if they become big in America, Americans would want that card. So it's worth doing just for that reason alone. So I can't remember how many packs per box there was and how many cards there were. To be honest, I looked up, I did a quick tally, and I think I needed about 27 out of the 150 cards out of buying a box.
Okay.
So it's not too bad.
No, it ain't bad. It's not bad odds at all. I mean,
no,
that's better odds than we had from the stickers and the other Panini set. I mean, I bought the box of the debut cards, and I was nowhere near a base, I think, by the time I'd ripped the box. Because by the time you get the parallels and stuff in there, like they soon ate up numbers, really.
Well, that's the thing. There's no parallels in this. There's no like different color parallels anywhere through it's just base, basically, and those champions cards, but they're still base. Mm-hmm. So, we haven't seen any chase yet to it. Potentially there are autos in there, but everyone from our side of the pond who has opened it nobody's pulled anything other than base. So basically.
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching a few, YouTube bits and pieces. I know Chris has also had a box, and he's noted that, it was pretty much the same template for everybody, really.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in football, again, I've never bought adrenaline. In football, is there also an adrenaline?
Apparently so.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean there is, and it doesn't mean there isn't. It just means
the odds are massive
we don't know.
Yeah.
We'll report on it anyway with regarding the next show, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah. So we'll move on from that, unless there's anything else to cover on that one.
No, I mean the only thing I would say is that if anyone's listening in America, like I know in the past we've said, like I said around, like it is more for kids, but I think if you have, you want to have something different to rip, and you've got small children, and you don't necessarily want to buy an £80 blaster, like this is a perfect product to get your kids into collecting. That you don't want them to potentially damage a card.
It's hard for the America to get a hold of it, though. That's the problem.
I mean, if you get contact over here who'd be willing to ship, like just reach. I'll be happy to, if you buy and ship to me, I'll ship it out to you.
It is difficult because how flimsy the boxes are, though, and that's the problem. I had the same. Like I tried to get the CFP boys the stickers, but
they got damaged, didn't they?
They were damaged, and it's just horrible. Like there was no way I was going to send those on. The boxes for the cards, to be honest, looked a lot better than the boxes of the stickers. But I got that from store. I don't know what if they ship it from Panini, mate. You could get something that's hanging off. You just don't know.
It's been knackered.
I wouldn't trust it.
I mean, I'm open. If anyone does want a box, we can see what we can do. But I think if you've got kids, even if you want to rip 10 packs, like. It's a good little thing for kids, but yeah, there's nothing in there majorly that's worth chasing. I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So we'll move on to Panini Donruss Elite NFTs. So the first off the line came out first. So I've put on the note stacked. So these were good. So you got 3 base or base legend max to up to 285.
Yeah,
I think the legend cards were up to 283 actually, but the base cards were 285. So you also got 1 insert or auto to max out of 79, and 1 first off the line red out of 20. So I opened, I think, 5 of these. Maybe 6. Definitely 5. I think definitely 5.
I mean, Logan was not very happy with you, was he?
Well, the thing is, like, I've always been the digital guy, right? On the podcast, that was my thing. Like, since we started, like, I was the top slam guy, right? But the thing is, I opened a few. The weird thing is about them, obviously, when we say that they're NFTs, if people don't know what they are, so basically, if you go on to Panini America, .net, wherever it is, there's a link to basically the blockchain, to the NFT side. You have to log in, you have to create an account in order to basically get these packs. You pay a bit of money, and you get the packs. You open them, like they will generate on the screen. But obviously the big thing about these there is obviously a concern because one, they're NFTs, which is good. It's much better than what Top Slam is because
and they're coded as an NFT as well, aren't they? That's the thing.
Yes. So there are actually NFTs. So you are basically logically, physically owning them, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. They're not in your hand, but they are with you. They're not going to go away like...
They can't discontinue the app or anything, yeah.
Exactly. So, you will... so there was a concern, obviously, more so with... So Panini we believe, have the contract with WWE now until probably early 2020, so this 2024, 25,
26,
to start of 26, I believe, something like that.
I think you're right.
So we've got a couple of years really left of the NFTs, and I do believe they are doing them for Prison as well for WWE. So it's all promising. The only thing is what's going to happen when in 2 years' time they they lose it, and these NFTs are just there. You know, there's not more to collect. They're just there. They exist, but there's only a certain few to collect, really. So I can see why some people, like Logan as well, would say, well, there's not much. There's, you know, you're wasting your money if you do it. And I get it. And I do agree. But ultimately, I think they're pretty cool. And they don't take any room up in my house. And I've always been a big fan of the digital side of it. I think it's really cool. You can like literally just pull out your phone and have a look at your collection online. I think that's cool. Saves me like rummaging around in a box in my closet, to be honest. So
I mean, there's definitely a market for both. I mean, there's the traditional card collecting. I don't think will go away. I think NFTs are a new way of collecting. I think more so with Panini and NFTs, the fact that there is legitimately buying and selling of cards and selling the NFTs, and people can obviously get the cash straight in their PayPal or into, you know, Bitcoin or any type of, you know, digital coin sort of thing. So there's definitely a market there. And I did find, okay, when I opened my pack, I probably haven't got, you know, maybe not $20 worth of value back there in what I had. But even like if I was to sell those... I think
you did with the red. I think you did with the red. I think the red alone would get, depending on who it was.
Yes.
But I think the red alone is between 8 and... I mean, I had a red Cody Rhodes out of 20 base card, right? Mm-hmm. And I sold it for $26.
Yeah, and I think it's also a bit of a waiting game with it as well, because like we'll get onto it a bit later on, but there is an element of some of the cards obviously are more desirable, and then but some people you sort of just keep an eye on the market. Like, so my 20 I got was Zoe Stark, so you know there are collectors out there for her. The price is up and down, but I think if I hold out, you know, when there's less on the market, then we probably will sell it. So there is a bit of sort of being a bit clever with the market there. So, and I've been kind of looking around and sort of picking up a few other cards as I've kind of gone along. So it's quite nice to sort of do a bit of buying and selling and trading there. But some people are going into it like really seeing it as an investment. And I think a lot of people are seeing it the way NFL has gone with NFTs. Like the NFL NFTs are going through the roof, especially when there's challenges on. My God, the prices are unbelievable. And I'm wondering if this is where we're going with WWE as we get more people into it, really.
Potentially. But honestly, I think that, especially because obviously we needed to speak the first off the line first, those packs. For some reason, they just felt so much more stacked than the normal packs. So the normal packs were basically exactly the same. So 3 base cards, legends up to 285, one insert, or auto max up to 79, but you just didn't get the first off the line card out of 20, right? But out of the first off the line cards, I was pulling a load more heat than I was doing off the regular packs.
Yeah.
I think I opened 4 or 5 of the regular packs. Actually, 3 to 5. I can't remember how many it was, but I pulled nothing. I pulled like rares out of 79 for my insert and auto. But out of the first off the line, I was pulling 5. I pulled the Soul Rooker base out of 10. That was probably the best card I pulled out of the first off the line. But that's, you know, a lot better than what I was pulling off the normal packs.
Yeah,
I still think there's about 15,000 packs left of the normal ones. They're $10 each. Feel free to go for them, guys, but don't expect to get much out of them unless you're really lucky.
I think as well, if you the first of the line, like they went really quickly. I think everybody kind of jumped on them quite quickly. I think even if you just want to have a dabble, like $10, even if you pick up a pack, isn't a lot to lose just to have that, you know, just to see what they're like and just check them out. Yeah. So, I mean, you might get lucky.
You never know. You might get lucky. I haven't, but on those, but ultimately, each their own.
Yeah.
The thing is, as well, it's not just the packs; it's buying the singles. Generally, either the singles are banana prices, bananas, BANAS. Like they're either going off the scale, i.e., and the thing is, because there's no prices for any of these, people are just making it up as they go along. So if someone wants 500 quid for an NFT, they're going to say, I want 500 quid for it.
Yeah.
And then you're going to go, well, I'm not going to pay 500 quid for it. And they're like, well, you're not buying the NFT then, are you?
Yeah.
So ultimately, but the thing is, you can't say that the NFT is not worth £500 or $500, whatever, because there's no, you can't weigh it against anything, right? No. So, I have 4 101s.
So have you bought those or poured those?
Yeah, I've bought those.
Okay.
But not for ridiculous prices. So I think that the most I spent on one was $50. And that was the first one. And ever since then, I've spent a lot less. So I have both. We talked about Wade Barrett earlier on. I have both Wade Barrett 101s. So it's turn of the century 101s. One that says Wade Barrett on it with the original Wade Barrett, you know, the chunky Wade Barrett. Yeah. Well, no, that was before the ball hammer, that Wasteland.
Oh, Wasteland.
That was Wasteland. And then Bad News Barrett, which was ball hammer, which sadly, it was originally the Souvenir and they changed it to the ball hammer, didn't they?
The Souvenir.
Yeah. So that was, so I've got both of those. I do have the Wade Barrett Rainbow.
Nice.
I will probably get the every one of one. I'll try and get the rainbow for. So I'll try and get the Bad News Barrett Rainbow as well. I have the Hank Walker base card 101. I've got 2 cards left to complete that rainbow, and I've got the Simon Dean Elite Impressions 101.
Nice.
And I've tried, but I can't seem to get the gold out of 10 of him. So there's only 3 cards to collect his rainbow, and the one in the middle, the gold one, I can't seem to get.
So they're just not on auction yet, or they're just not there?
But the thing is, like, the amount of...
Okay.
There's a lot, like, offer me something. I offer a reasonable price, and they say no, basically. And it's like, okay, like, what are you expecting? Like, you've not got like a top bid on, so what are you expecting? So yeah, it just hasn't worked out, right? But I'm sure it will in the future. But no, it was really good. It was really good time collecting bits and pieces so far. I don't think I'm going to go much further down the rabbit hole, but I'm just going to finish off collecting the rainbows of the one-on-ones I have. I mean, to be honest, a lot of it is because they were so cheap. I mean, I got one Wade Barrett 101 for $22, and the other one came up, and originally it was $50, and I was like, I'm not buying that, not $50. I'll pass. And then the next day they reduced it to 25. Okay. So I was like, I felt rude not to, really, didn't it? So yeah, it's cool, but I just like, obviously I'd love a Bron Breaker, but I'm not paying between $300-$500 to get it, to be honest.
Do you want my Bron Breaker to $285?
I think I've got it.
Oh,
I think I did pull a couple of lower Bron Breakers, but thank you anyway. But I think I have it. If I'm going to get one, I'll just probably get an autograph card of like out of 20 or something like that. I don't know, but I don't have. It's weird. Like, his autograph on it is like a combination of his old and his new one. It's kind of like in the middle.
Yeah, you're not got just the beads. You've got a little bit more with it, but
yeah, but that's like his original one.
Yeah. So
it's very strange. And if you look at the Donruss product, it's actually his newer one. So I don't know when he signed that digital one. It was like the in between, like he hadn't decided. We don't know when, like, because obviously they're digital signatures on the NFTs, and we don't know when they've actually done them. So it's a bit random, isn't it?
I mean, the other thing as well, I don't know if we've mentioned it, I don't think we have, but the artwork as well is the same as the physical Donruss Elite as well, which is quite nice to get. I think most of it is the same, isn't it? Yeah,
pretty much. So I think there's a lot of omissions with superstars as well. So Dolph Ziggler is in the physical but it's not on the
In the
NFTs.
digital, yeah.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar's not there either. They've removed him from the NFT as well, which I thought was a bit of a shock, to be honest. I thought they would leave Brock in, but WWE have distanced themselves from it, haven't they?
Yep.
So I can't believe how quick that's been. Like, they've just told Panini, no, take him out.
Yeah.
So they don't exist. But yeah, generally.
Even in the game and stuff, like he's not going to be in 2K24 that comes out in 2 weeks, and they've pulled the plug and taken him out of the game and everything. You think, Jesus, that must be such hard work to do that.
Yeah, night and day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a weird one with it, with the NFTs, because like obviously they are just the cards, and they've got the same backs as well and fronts, and they. I mean, we'll go through the checklist of Donruss on the next bit when we go through the physical release, right? But even with like the passing the torch, the NFTs, you've got the back and front and the autographs on the back and front as well. I thought that's quite cool.
Yeah.
The pens generally match the color of the card.
More to follow on that,
and more to follow on that on the physical. So. There's a lot of stuff there that mimics the main set, and I think it's really cool. But when you think of NFTs, for me, I think of what Top Slam did, right? With a lot of it, right? With Top Slam was not just like trading cards. They felt like NFTs. There was weird and wonderful things going on.
Well, they were animated and shiny, weren't they?
Animated, shiny. You know, they even like you had like a clip, of stuff, and they felt like what I think of as NFTs.
Yeah,
a replication of a trading card doesn't feel like an NFT to me. It doesn't feel as special, even though like these cards have something to them, like they have moving parts to them, right? Where the physical cards do not. These NFTs do have like some shine on them and some like moving
shimmer
of the waves
rainbow
and shimmering.
And
yeah, exactly. But I still, in my mind, think Top Slam more NFT. It's not even a word. NFT, more like an NFT than what Panini are doing. However, I love it. I'm a big supporter of it. It's just a shame that we didn't have it 2 years ago.
So as it is right now, before we get into it any further, what do you like more the look of? Do you like the Top Slam images better, or do you like the Panini NFT images and the concept better?
Top Slam for life, baby.
Yeah, I prefer Top Slam as well. I'll give it a bit more time.
Built. Well, the thing is, they did it for years as well, right? So they had Top Slam was 2016 to 2021. Yeah. So they had so much time, development time, and I think just as they were peaking with Top Slam, the plug got pulled. The popularity, all of the eyes were on Top Slam. Everyone loved it. Everyone in the hobby loved it, and then it got pulled away from us all.
Yeah.
And I think that, like Panini I think it's a big miss from Panini that they haven't filled that void, and I can see why WWE may have been pissed off with them because of that.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened behind the scenes and why we didn't get it, but ultimately,
it's here now.
More than anything, it's here now. I think I'm more so like these days, just enjoy the ride. Fuck the politics behind the scene. Fuck what's going to happen to them, right? Obviously, if you have money and you want to invest in them with regarding like you want to buy them, then fine. Fuck it. Who cares? The only person that's going to be impacted is you. And if you're okay with it, who gives a fuck? Do it.
No, I think if, again, with me as well, like I feel better. Maybe going back to the Upper Deck e-pack stuff as well, I feel better. If I was going to buy a digital pack, I feel more confident buying a digital pack of Panini NFTs than I would pay the same price for a pack of new arrivals or matchday moments.
Yeah.
At this point in time, like I just feel that is a better purchase on the digital front.
So, you know what? It's a better better purchase doing these than it is if Top Slam comes back.
And you don't own the card at all.
Well, you do. I mean, you still... Yeah. I mean, I have a archive library of all of my stuff, but I can't sell it.
You can't sell it.
I can't trade it. No. Yeah, I can't sell it or trade it. It's in my library. I can look at it now and go, that's amazing. I love that. But the only way that I can share it with other people is share a picture of it, or show you my phone in person. Yeah, that's it.
So yeah, I mean, a brave new world for digital collecting. But yeah, it's been interesting getting involved with the last couple of days. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like the only other things we need to cover on it as well is that there have been some challenges. And not I don't mean that in a way of, not in a bad way. Oh, it's very challenging times. No, challenges as in, so basically one of them, so the Elite deck cards, which is an insert, there was a Roman Reigns. So in order to collect that, you were set a challenge in order to get 10 of the red out of 20s, like specific ones.
Certain wrestlers, yeah.
Yeah, and if you got them, then you basically clicked a button and said, I've got it. And then you would get that. They would mint that Roman Reigns card and you would get one of them basically at some point.
Yeah.
So that's good. I think that's challenge is over now.
Yeah, so that ended yesterday afternoon. So that ended about just before 3. And then we had the next set of challenges go live at 3.
Well, and we've had like the rainbow challenges has been the big thing. So you've had numerous Becky parallels in order to collect, and every challenge it's like get like 20 of these or 35 of these or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's
there
a
was
bit
the
more
same
difficult.
set. There was the same set of wrestlers, but there was more of them in like the lower parallels of those same wrestlers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so higher. Which I didn't know what to expect with the rainbow stuff because it's so for example, right? I have a Wade Barrett rainbow. At some point, right? I do think if anyone has a 1 of 1 and they have a rainbow of that 1 of 1 and everything else of that set, right? They should be rewarded with something at some point as well. With something of it. I don't know what. You know what I mean?
It's for getting the rainbow in the first place, yeah. Exactly,
because that's a fucking hard challenge to do, right?
Yeah,
because getting a rainbow, some of it's easy, some of it's just really hard. But if that's where you go, I was surprised that is not part of the challenges yet. But ultimately, give me free shit if I'm getting rainbows, basically.
I think the other good thing with these challenges as well, that they do kind of give you a mini heads up of what to expect in the challenges. So they'll say you need red to 20s. So it does mean that, okay, if you've got some red to 20s, or even if you want to pick some up, then there's a good chance, actually, if someone desperately needs, because obviously there's only 20 of that card. So if somebody needs your Kevin Owens to 20 to complete the challenge, if you're in the luck of buying and selling, that's when you then will get, good price on it. So it's kind of watching that market and also picking up little bits and pieces as you see them crop up, because there are some bargains to get. So,
I love it. Honestly, there's so many, like, every time I've gone on, I have, there's obviously the stuff that's going bananas, but there's more, there's so much stuff that I look at and go, oh, that's quite a good price actually. And I have to stop myself. I don't do that on generally looking at cards, physical cards. Very rarely do I do that, but I have done with the NFTs. I'm like, oh, that's reasonable. Oh, that's that for that price. And the thing is as well with these NFTs generally, if you don't buy it there and then, you probably won't be able to get it again because someone will snaffle it up and it will be gone in the ether for.
So will you? So are you still buying just to have in your collection, or are you buying to complete challenges, or what's your next plans, do you think, with NFTs?
No, that's it, really. Like I've just bought, obviously, Wade is because it's Wade. I love Wade. I think it's great. Did I tell you I met him at WrestleMania?
No.
I went to Access because he'd broken his arm.
That's right.
And
Just
so he
before,
weren't
yeah.
in. Yeah, he weren't on WrestleMania 28, but he was doing signings. So me and my mate went up to him, Wade, and he's like, "All right, boys." So we had a good laugh with him, but he was pretty upset that he wasn't at WrestleMania at the time, and we were upset that we didn't see him wrestle. So I've always liked those. So him, Drew, and the ginger one, Shamey baby. Always been a big fan of the three. I know a lot of people aren't a big fan of them, but ultimately, I've always been a big fan of them because at that time of like late 2000s, they were the three. They were the three that went across to America, right? And
they were the first three guys going over there. Really, who become big stars, weren't they? Really, you know. Well,
they flew the flag for every country. You had England, England, Scotland, and Ireland. You know what I mean? It was it's quite funny actually because it's just the start of a joke, really, isn't it? So but it was really cool that they did that. I used to watch not necessarily Wade, but I used to watch Shamey and Drew on
IWW.
Irish Whip Wrestling. Yeah, do you remember that?
Yeah, on the wrestling channel.
On the wrestling channel. And that was fantastic. You know, like we knew who they were before they went over to WWE, and I thought it was great. What's his name? Drew Galloway back then, wasn't it? Drew
Galloway, and Sheamus O'Shaughnessy.
Sheamus spelt the right way. Seamus, as the Americans would say. So yeah, it was really cool. I loved it. Anyway, I digress. But yes, so big fan of Wade. Hank, you know, I like a bit of Hank. Bloody love a Hank.
I've got a Hank here to send you, actually. I think you've probably already got it, but it's a blue Hank.
I only need two. I need the red out of 20 and the orange out of 49. Okay. So don't worry about it. I have got it probably.
I'll hold on to that then.
I'm 2 away from my Hank rainbow. How do you Hainbow? I don't know. Hank Bow.
Hank Rainbow. That sounds like a drag act.
It does. But yeah, no, it's really cool. It is really cool. But yeah, I've no real goals other than if I like it, I'll get it. But I don't want to get too much more of it, to be honest. No, because it's.
Well, you're gonna have the angel logo on your shoulder, and then you're gonna have the devil Lloydy on the other side. Buy a pack. No, don't buy a pack.
Yeah, there was. There's been a couple of one-on-ones that come out, and they're like around the $100, and I'm like, I'd love that, but I just can't.
It's a lot.
I can't justify $100.
You think what you could actually buy with $100 physical if you were going to? You know,
well, not a lot, to be honest. In this market, anyway.
Yeah.
1/10 of a box of Impeccable.
How many camels?
Yeah, how many camels, man? How many camels does it take to buy a box of Impeccable? Too many. Anyway, let's go on the physical then.
Let's go to physical.
Let's talk about. Let's do the breakdown.
Yeah,
and then we'll talk about what we like. Yeah.
Yeah, I've sound.
Okay. Let me just get. I'll get the configuration up.
So I'll start off then with the base while you're doing your bit then. So normal base, 150 cards, a bit like Adrenalyn. So the first set of cards, or the first 100 are current stars, and then 101 to 150 are legends. So, you know, a nice 50-50 split there. Parallels, so you've got a big wide selection of parallels. So you've got green, pink, razzle dazzle, which I can't remember what the patterning is. That's like in razzle dazzle.
So it's very much like a
pyro.
It's like light tubes. It's there's a very similar one that they did in Revolution. It's I can't remember, but yeah, it's the razzle dazzle is the case hit as well.
Okay, and then we've got red status explosion, which is number 275. blues to 149, purples to 99, status or status to 80. They've got aspirations swirl to 75, aspirations to 53, orange to 49, teal to 25. Then you got die cut aspirations to 24, status die cuts to 24. Then we've got gold to 10, and then black 1 of 1. So we have got true gold to 10s, which is nice. So,
are they true gold though? Have you seen them?
I haven't seen them. No.
Oh, they are. Well, let's get to the end, and
let's go for it.
I'll go on to that. So, I mean, before we do that, like I was just looking. So the box breakdown, by the way, is so it's 2 autos per box and inserts or parallels 20 in total. So that's per box. So basically, every pack that is in a box, you're getting either a parallel or an insert, or and a numbered card as well. Yeah. So you get in one pack, you'd get the autograph behind either the insert or the parallel of that pack. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's nice.
Because I saw on every box that there was probably about 7 numbered cards coming out of it as well. Yeah. It was a lot, man.
And all of them are really vibrant and bright colours. Like, they're not like very discreet, if that makes sense.
No.
They are really nice colours on here.
Yeah, like I tell you what, they remind me a bit, because we talk about the base, right? They remind me, and there's not much difference between obviously the base and the legends, right? It's just one of them are, they do this in most sets that we have in wrestling. You have the lower end of the set is obviously the newbies or the current guys, and then you have a bit of a legend bit, right? So, but the thing is, it's the way it is. It's the picture of the person, and then behind it is on just the base. It's kind of like an iridescent glow behind them.
Yep.
It's a shine, right? And then if it's a parallel, it's either got a design or a color or both behind them.
And they're pretty funky as well. Like the purple, like it's like I wouldn't say tartan color, but it's like a checkerboardy purple. The orange is like squares. Like they're really clear.
The blue, the 149, the blue is really quite weird, to be honest, but it's really nice.
Yeah,
I can't believe it's just got the name of blue and purple, like because of the swirls that it has and stuff like that. It doesn't pay it any justice, to be honest. They're very much in the ilk of like how metal is, right?
Yeah,
like it's the focus is on the person and not the background. Like the background doesn't really, it's not there basically, especially with like the PMGs kind of thing, right? It's just the person.
And they're not like action shots either. They're like motion shots of them, like, entering the ring or looking directly at the camera. They're not like moves and stuff, are they? Which is quite nice.
Generally, no. Yeah, I think a lot of them are just them
standing, doing something,
being normal. Yeah. But it's what it is. I mean, you get so much base out of because you're getting in one pack, so you get 20 packs, and there's 8 cards per pack.
Yeah.
So you're getting a lot of base. A lot of base. If you like base, this is the set to get.
In the card tricks, what's that chat they were talking obviously this morning and going through the hits, and he had such a massive stack of base. It was unbelievable. Yeah, massive amount.
It is. Yeah, especially when you got someone in there going, I want to see all the base.
It's honestly, there's loads of it.
Yeah, it's amazing. But yeah, I mean, like, crazy, right? Absolutely crazy. I've never seen so much base from a set before. There probably has been, but it just felt very noticeable on this one.
More than before.
Yeah. So the hit was generally on top of the pack. So you had to like open it up, show the behind, reverse it, show the hit, and then the rest is just base.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of that. Nothing really else. There's no rookies. I mean, like, other than there's no new rookies, right? It's all people we've seen before, like Hank, who are in their rookie year, but there was no specific new rookies that I remember.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's all. I mean, we've got to remember this was a delayed product, really, wasn't it? So it's like, we are a little bit behind with the people we've got. So these are, still rookie year stuff. But I mean, is there anyone on the base that you particularly like their images, or is there anything you particularly that really stood out for you that you liked from that base?
Oh yeah. Being a perv collector like I am, which I'm not, obviously, guys, come on. But yeah, Pax, Tatum Paxley, with her pulling up her stocking. That was a nice one. I like that one. I appreciated that one. Well done, guys. But no, I like, I'm not like that. But it's that was a fun one to see. But the rest of them, nothing really stood out.
Okay.
Like, massively stood out. And this is the thing, because they weren't really doing much.
No, I mean, there's a few I quite like. So I like Kane's image of him, like, going for the choke slam was quite a nice, unique one.
Yeah.
Brett holding up the belt was quite a nice image, which I thought was quite cool. So I mean, there's a few on there. Again, they're not. A lot of them aren't doing a lot of great stuff.
It's the legends, though, isn't it? It's like the new guys were just like, or the current
standing
guys
there cross-armed or whatever,
standing around.
But no, it's all good. Yeah, but base-wise, I mean, I think if you're after a base set, I think you'll have no trouble picking up a base set on the secondary market and a complete set.
Eddie on top of his car.
Oh, that was a nice one. Yes, on the blue car.
Yeah, that was really nice.
So, not bad at all. Not bad at all.
All right. I'll move us into inserts first. Yeah. So inserts, we'll go, like, all of these have parallels, right? So, let's go Elite deck first. Only 15 in there. These are the silver cards with the little version of the person further down the card, right?
Yeah.
I think they're quite Marmite. I think you love them or hate them. I'm not a big fan of them. I'm not going to go out and try and get a set of these. Jamie, did you like them?
I mean, they're not the AEW deck cards. Like,
no.
I like those a lot more. I find these are a bit bland. I find it weird. There's where you got this split of, like, the person at the top, and then, like they say, that miniature person at the bottom is a bit weird.
Yeah.
I
didn't think the parallels worked with it as well. The colours, I didn't think that was that nice on them, to be honest.
No, it's not for me. However, the NFT version of the decks are very nice.
Jamie, I'm going to turn you, I tell you, to the dark side of the NFTs.
Yeah, no.
Let's go digital, boy. Let's do it.
But yeah, no, they trade the card ones. Much prefer the AEW's attempt at playing cards.
So all of these are going to be like the parallels. Generally, green, which I think is going to be the blaster, but red out of 99, orange out of 49, teal out of 25, gold to 10, black to 101. Mm-hmm. Same with the family lineage card. Family lineage checklist. I'm just reading it. The family lineage card. Likes of like Anvil and Natalia, Seeker and Roman, Cowboy Bob, and Randy. The list goes on. Yeah. Steiner and Rick Steiner and Bron Breakker is probably obviously the one I need to get.
Yeah. I would say with this, I would have preferred, we'll get through the autos, but I would have actually preferred a family lineage to actually be a back to front auto instead of passing the torch. I think that would have been really nice.
100%.
So have like Charlie Dempsey and William Regal. I know you obviously can't do Dusty Rhodes, but you could have easily done, some of these names. That would have been quite a nice thing and had that same passing the torch effect, but had father and son or whatever on there as well.
I love that. I love that. I'm You know, when I'm like, I get animated when I start pointing, but I'm pointing. I'm pointing because I like it, Jamie. I like it. Well done, mate. Well done.
So yeah, that's in my sense. That could have been a passing the torch instead of having Don Morocco and Cactus Jack.
Yeah,
you could have done. Something.
You would have loved that card. Don't lie. Don't lie. You would have loved that card. Okay. Full throttle.
Yeah.
Like a full throttle?
I mean, it doesn't light my world up. This one either. What about you?
I haven't seen the Dolph Ziggler one actually, which I'll probably get as high as parallel as I can on that one. SA. Yeah, nothing really for me, to be honest. But other than the dolphin there, powerhouses again. I think they're a nice idea, but it's only 5 cards. You got Andre, Bianca, China, which is probably the best one of the set. Braun, Strowman, and Cena. I like the design of the card, but I'm not going to try and get any of those parallels, to be honest.
I mean, and what's the... I missed what the breakdown was all these. How many do you get in a box or a case of these sort of other inserts? So being obviously only 5 in the checklist, I imagine they're quite high.
It doesn't say. There's no breakdown, I don't believe, to the actual what you get per box with regarding the parallels.
Okay.
So you get obviously 20 parallels per box. So you'll get some of these pretty much in them. There's no like to say, oh, I'm going to get 2 parallel, what's it called? Powerhouse cards in there. But I've seen basically like 1 a box at least.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen that many. And when I was looking online earlier on, like there wasn't even any on American or UK.
I saw a lot come up on the break last night.
Yeah, so I think maybe give it a bit of time then to see how frequent they are. I haven't seen that many.
A lot of Biancas. More Biancas than I care to see again. Okay, we'll move on to the Spellbound. So this is a card with a person on it with their name, a letter from their name. So Roman Reigns, obviously, you have ROMAN on different cards.
Yeah.
So you also have Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and which is what, Stone Cold?
I think it is Stone Cold. Looking at the numbers we've got, there's quite a few of them, isn't there? I think you're right, Stone Cold.
Yeah, probably the easiest one to get is Lita and Rey Mysterio. Oh no, Rey Mysterio is just Rey. Right?
Yeah, just Rey.
Okay, very good. I think these were like the bane of existence throughout the. Obviously, it was very funny last night with trying to do countdown on this break yesterday, making naughty words up. But ultimately, there were far too fucking many of them within the sets. They're just ridiculous. Like,
I think the other thing, obviously, they are all different images as well. So each letter is a different image. I'm going to hark back to the AEW side of this here. I think the banner years as an equivalent is what I'm putting this down to. I think the banner years was a better effect of this.
I hate this. I hate this. I really just don't like everything to do with this card. It's not for me. I'm not going to collect any of them. Every break, one of the main pissy things that are coming out of this break, there are a lot of inserts, and to see one of these keep coming up every other pack was just annoying, to be honest, more than anything.
Do you think this would have worked better as a relic? Like TNA used to do like the letter relics.
I think it would work better if it wasn't in the fucking set.
Just get rid.
Yeah, just get rid of it. Nice idea, fuck off. Or make them limited. Yeah. Like make them really limited. Like one
a case hit.
Well, case hit, you'll never fucking do it. But like maybe 2 or 3 a case, maybe. Not one every other pack. It was just too much. I mean, we had we had letters coming out of our asses yesterday with all of these coming out. It was too many. Star status. What are your thoughts on star status?
I was just actually working out how many. So how many had?
Quite a few.
So he had about 14 yesterday on that breakout of a case.
Okay.
So that's a lot of them coming through, isn't there?
I like the design. I think they're quite nice. Like the imagery of the people, the wrestlers on the cards are the highlight of the card. They're obviously a lot better than the base cards were.
Yeah.
The Trish Stratus one is out of this world. I think that the Cody one's really nice as well. The Triple H one is quite unique as well. I didn't mind it. I'm there for it, and I'm there for the parallels of it as well.
Mm-hmm. I mean, these are going to be quite a nice thing to even get if you get all the same colour and you line them up a little bit. I mean, there are some nice ones out there, definitely.
The only thing is, it's all of the people who are the big names, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, so if you want to go higher parallels, you're going to be paying through the nose to try and get them, sadly. Yeah. But I thought they were cool.
Yeah, I really like
they do a teal edge, mate. They do a teal edge.
I mean, it's not green. It's much more like bluey teal. But yeah, it's one for you to grab. It might be the last edge card you're going to get in WWE. So well, hang on a second. We need to. What is teal? Is it green or is it blue? It's a bit of a mix. I know. I'm just having a quick look at the teal edge. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, it is very blue.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the green
teal,
edge.
though.
Let me see what the green edge looks like. How green is the green?
Oh, yeah. No, they would do a green. What am I thinking of? And they'd be a lot cheaper as well. Yeah, exactly. Well, it's not base. It's it's the parallel from the blaster. Anything green is always the Panini blasters. So, lovely. There you go. That's made my day, actually.
There you are. Job done.
Job done. And the last one, before we go on to the autographs, the title waves. I actually prefer them in the NFT form than I do the physical form.
What is it about them you like better, though?
Just the way that they looked. Like the design, I think, works better on the NFT than it does the physical form. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I've got the Randy Orton out, the red out of 20, on the NFT of that, and I really like it.
I think
the ones I saw being pulled, I didn't.
I think the NFT version, though, because you have got that wave effect going across it, it really does give it much more life. Whereas on an actual physical card, okay, it's there, but it doesn't seem to have as much life to it. So, I mean, there's only 5 cards.
I know what you're saying with the life and stuff like that, but you can say that with like most of the cards, to be honest, especially the autographs. But I don't know. There was just something for me that was just, I don't know. It just seemed to pop more as an NFT than it does a card. Maybe it is the wavy effect. I don't know. I just don't think it translated well to a card form. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't like the total waves circle silver thing behind the wrestler either, with the gold wave going through it. I just find that there's a lot of these Donruss cards. There's a lot going on the card insert itself. There's a lot going on. There's just very busy, very busy cards.
Very busy. Very busy.
Yeah, but I mean, what's your favourite insert out of this whole set? Have you got a particular one you like the best, or not an individual card, but I mean as an insert set?
No, I'm thinking. 1 second. Thing is, I just need like 1 or 2 cards from each part of it, but I would probably say Star Status.
Okay.
Just because it's the cards I've seen of it, I think they're more attractive than the rest of it that's in there. What about yourself?
I like Family Lineage. I think that's one of my favourite ones, and I I also agree with it. I think the star ones are nice as well. I think they kind of give you a bit of Revolution vibe to them. They're nice.
I don't think any of it is like earth movers.
No, there's no groundbreaking
stuff
there.
Yeah, they're not going to be known for years to come as being these seminal pieces of work.
No,
yeah. Okay, let's go over to the autographs. First one's a bit weird. So the parallels out of 10, and black out obviously 1 of 1. There's 88 of them, and I don't know if they did a base for them, and I don't think they did. So these are the Elite impressions. I have yet to see one pulled.
No, neither have I.
So they must be out of 10.
Must be straight out, yeah.
So just be careful, guys, when you're going on to breaks and stuff like that. A lot of these people who are on the Elite impressions have like this one card, basically. And they don't have base cards. They don't have inserts. They have this card. And I think they're really hard to pull. And from what I remember Logan telling me, a lot of them, I think he made a remark, and he could be right, I don't know, is that I think there's a lot of, he said redemptions for them that he's seen. But I don't know if that's true, because I can't remember seeing one being pulled.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any redemptions pulled either, to be honest, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay. Elite signatures. I think really Elite signatures and pen pals, very close, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're on card signatures, aren't they?
Yeah.
Both of them. They look, the card design is not a million miles away from both of them, to be honest, from what I remember. Like pen pals is more in the middle, where Elite signatures is more to the bottom of the card.
Bottom in a traditional place, yeah.
Yeah, but it's still kind of diagonal where the box is. I don't really like, other than saying I like them. I think they've, any on card autograph we're going to get fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
These are the ones as well, especially like the pen pal ones, haven't they? They've tried to match the color of the card with the pen.
Tried is the key.
The red has worked.
Yes.
The blue works. The gold. Oh, we could have told them about trying to sign with gold pens. Well, it doesn't work.
You can still talk about it. Yeah. So a couple of people signed him great big thick gold marker, and it doesn't work on cards. We tried it ourselves in our soulless pub. It's tough.
Gold everywhere.
Like we said in our chat. It's very smudgy as well. Like even the gold paint pens, like they're not that quick drying. I mean, you can get thinner ones, but I mean, I like what they've tried to do with the different coloured inks. I think it's quite clever. Some wrestlers obviously got the wrong end of the stick, and they've done blues on the reds and blacks on the reds and mixed up a little bit. On the whole, they look really nice when they've got the red ink on the red.
I think it's really cool. I think it's, when you have a new set, you want something different.
Yep.
At least this is something different. So it's positives. Really,
we haven't seen this before either, I don't think, in any other set. I know obviously Mustafa Ali guys have done different pens, but not deliberately different colour inks for different parallels, and that's really nice.
I think the red really does pop.
I do too.
And I think it translates really good on... I think it translates really well onto the NFTs as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's all positives for me.
Yeah, me too.
The new breed autograph was a bit of a strange one for me personally. So these are green, red out of 49, blue out of 25, gold out of 10, black 101.
Mm-hmm.
So the last ones we just talked about, and these ones, the new breed ones, are stickered.
Yeah.
They are just like NXT people. I just feel like not really needed, to be honest.
No, I think this...
Like go on, sorry.
Well, I think it's a bit of we've got these stickers left over from previous sets. Let's stick them in a card. It's an
It's not like
afterthought.
we haven't had NXT in other sets many times. If there's one we could have done without, I think it's this. Personally,
I just think that at this point, it's just bizarre that these are the only sticker autos in the set, and it just seems a bit of an afterthought to make them up.
Well, no, the turn of the century has stickers as well.
Okay, fine.
So we also had the legends as well, which are turn of the century. This is a bit of a weird one actually, because they're out of red out of 49, blue out of 25, gold out of 10, black out of 101. But the red out of 49 is on selected cards.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 60. There's 60 in the normal deck of those, and I don't know how many they've actually pulled out of them. To be honest, it's a bit weird. There's very limited amount of 49s. To be honest,
and there's not
there's
many new names on the legend side of things either. They're all very much the similar names that we've had come through quite a lot. There's nothing. I mean, going through the checklist, is there anyone there that you've spotted that is a brand new name to Panini? I don't think there is really, is there?
Stevie Ray is... don't often get Stevie Ray, do we?
No.
I
mean, Red Rooster.
Red Rooster, Wendy Richter. Oh, what's his name? 1 second, I'll find it for you.
Because I think a lot of these names, they appeared in the last Panini set, and they're all quite big surprises that they were in the last set. But this time round, there wasn't anything that I thought, geez, that's a card to chase, you know?
Oh, you got the Shockmaster, but, you know, we've been sport with that, with...
Tron cards.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Doc Hendricks, obviously.
Yeah, but I know it's Doc Hendricks, but we've had plenty of Michael Hayes over the bloody years.
Yeah. He's already in there anyway, you know what I mean?
Like...
It's just... but obviously, I love the fact that you got Wade Barrett and Bad News Barrett. I thought that was
which is
cool.
nice.
But the design of this card, yet again, I think the design of this card, like we didn't need the NXT card, but the design of the turn of the century cards, especially like the base, is terrible. It's really grey and dreary. It's just, it feels really out of place. Especially against like the pen pal design, which I think is quite fresh. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, it's two sides of the coin, really. And talking about two sides of the coin, it's a great segue for Jamie to talk about the passing the torch signatures.
I mean, I quite like the passing the torch signatures. I mean, there's cards in there to chase. Some of the combinations are a bit bizarre, as I've already alluded to. Don Morocco and Cactus Jack. I actually did some Googling to find out if they even had a match. They had one match in the 80s in the UWF, and that was it. I don't know if that was technically passing the torch, but I mean, there are some good names on the passing the torch. I don't know how I feel about it being the front and back. I mean, we had a little bit of a chat in the ATP group that the concept is nice, but having the terms and conditions on the back of the card looks a bit strange with an autograph. But it
looks a bit out of place, like it's being shoehorned in to the back of the card.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a front and back card. It feels like it's a front card, and on the back, there's a picture and a signature of another guy.
Yeah, it's very bizarre.
It doesn't feel like it's been made as being a dual-sided card on purpose, if that makes sense.
I think I don't know if it was Tommy or Gary, it might have been Logan. Someone mentioned in the chat as well about, you know, if you were to get that graded, you know, you would never get the benefit of both sides of the card. You'd always have to flip it round to have a look at the front or the back. It's not like a booklet where you have both autos on one side, you know?
Well, that's the thing, because you pay for extra for double grading of the autographs back and front. Like, that's mad, isn't it, if you think about it? I think more so anything like the logistics of how they did it is a bit mind-boggling because it's on card. Like, they would have had to get it signed on one front and then unless they did both signings with the people together.
At the Rumble or Mania or something, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just the logistics of it it kind of baffles me a bit, really.
They look nice as on-card autos, though. Yeah. I think if it was sticker, I don't think it'd have the same effect. I think you would be losing something there.
So they're like, they're out of 25, out of 10, out of 1, basically. So they're quite rare anyway, right? Yeah. So if you're going to pick one up, more power to you. And to be honest, I don't think I've seen a redemption of them yet. I've seen them. So that's great as well. Well done, Panini. I'm not this positive normally with new releases.
I mean,
I'm very positive with this.
Where do you sit on this end? Are you a thumbs up, thumbs in the middle, thumbs down with this as a release?
I say obviously, like, you can make a great bonfire with all the base that you get from it, and I think that is, like, it's not needed. The one thing, I'm not buying a box of it. I just don't need that base, and I don't want to get rid. You know what I mean? I don't want the headache of trying to get rid of it. I think generally it's great. You know, I'm glad that they've got more product out. I see the NFTs as like a companion piece to it. I find, you know, if the hard copy is not for you, you can get the digital copy instead
and pick up what you want.
And I honestly think this is, and we didn't see that with Topps generally, right? We didn't see them put out a product and the exact same product on Top Slam. I think this is very inventive. I think this is for the wrestling world. I know they've done it in other parts of the hobby, right? But I think this is what we needed. I find it very refreshing. I love it. I think it's all thumbs up for me.
Yeah, I think as well. I'm pretty much leaning into thumbs up as well. I think the fact that they've made the effort to go away from stickers and have on-card autos for this. Like, we've only seen it in the premium Panini sets, really, on cards. I don't really mark this as an elite product, so, you know, pardon the pun, but an expensive product. But I mean, the auto list is quite nice. I've seen no redemption so far in the breaks that I've seen. They've all seemed to be there.
Hogan's a redemption.
Okay.
And I think Cody was a redemption as well.
Okay, so there's a few there.
I'm a bit surprised Cody's a redemption, to be honest. But
I mean, compared to previous, like, when I've seen breaks of old sets, like, it's nothing but redemptions coming up at them. So that's quite nice to see. I think they've tried with quite a few things. For me, not everything hits the mark. Some things look a bit messy. But as our first intro back into Panini and WWE, it's good to have Panini stuff back out there. I mean, it's been a long time since we've 8 or 9 months since we've had new Panini products. So let's see what happens next.
It was a bit mind-blowing that it's all happened at once, though. Like, especially with the adrenaline stuff on top, it was a bit like
unannounced. Here it is.
It's a bit too much all at once. But yeah, I love it. I would say the one thing off the physical side that I didn't really cover before, I kind of left it to the end. My favourite part of it is the golds out of 10. The physical
proper golds.
I think they don't look as good on the NFTs, but the gold out of 10 on the base are just insane. They've got this like wheel swirl to them, and that is like multi-layered. It is the most strangest parallel I've ever seen, but I love it. It looks like a clock, like, you know, like the inside of a clock, basically, and, you know, all the gears like a and pendulum. Stuff like that. It's just they look mind-blowing. Stuff like that, I love, you know.
We didn't need to actually mention the die cuts aspect of them as well. I think the die cuts are quite nifty as well. Lots of notches in them, which are a bit wild. It must have been a nightmare to try and cut those out.
If you like them, you know, like, they're all like numbered weirdly as well. You know what I mean? But if that's your thing, cool. To be honest, they're just like generally they're base cards with a few notches out of them with a number on them, aren't they? They're not coloured any differently as far as I could see. No. They're just. But yeah, cool. Like, if that's your thing, great. You know, not my thing, but it's if you like a die cut, they've got some good ones.
Yeah. Nice. There you are. I think we've covered Donruss Elite then.
I think we've covered Panini for the next 3 months at least.
Next up, Leaf Legends of Wrestling.
Oh, I'm actually sad a bit that Chris is not here to talk about the Panini porn that we've couple of weeks we've just had. I'm sure when he's back in the next time
We
that
can always
he'll
do
give us
a
his...
show update.
Yeah, no, it'd be nice to hear
Oh,
his
obviously,
thoughts about it as well, because there's just obviously been so much of it, and he's been exposed to some of it as well. You know what I mean? So, it'd be good to get his thoughts about NFTs as well, because I know he's not really a big digital guy, but it'd be good to see if he's been swayed a bit to them.
He's got I bought 14 packs.
You know what I mean? So no, it's interesting. It really is interesting, and I just think it is positives. Like, I think at the start of the year when we were like, what is going to be this year? And one of my things was we're going to be BAU, and I think this is BAU. I think this is like us getting back up to the full steam again. But I do think, obviously, that we're getting some real nice perks out of having us back full up and running again, and I love it.
Long
good times.
Continue.
Yeah, cool.
Right. I think we're nearly there.
End of the show. Probably a long one this week.
We're not too.
Are we wracking
bad.
up? We're
2:14, so we're 10 minutes longer. So we're just beyond our mark. So we'll make up that time from last week where I tried to eke it out. We've gone over now, so we're all good.
It levels it out in the end.
Exactly. It's all in balance, isn't it?
Look, guys. I mean, Jamie, do you want to do the end of the show?
Yeah.
Roots?
So I will give a mention to Chris's stuff while he's not here. So you can find Chris on Cambridge Trading Cards over on YouTube. He's just put a video up for Adrenalyn XL. So that went up early. Obviously, I think it was before release. I think he actually got his box early as well. Again, he's got more Slam Attacks Chrome. I think he's on his final bits of that. So head over to his YouTube page. For us, you can find us over at Instagram. As we said earlier on, we've now reached 250 followers. We're at Square Circle Relics Pod. Do a daily post up on there of cards. And pretty much out of my own collection, I'll sort of scan them in and put them on there. So follow us on there. If you want to find us on Twitter...
You should start scanning some of my collection.
Yeah, do. Scan them over to me, because it'd be nice to have some images sent over. So do it.
What's a scanner?
Screenshots of NFTs.
We'll talk. Yeah, okay, go
on. On Twitter, you can find us at SCR Pod on Twitter. And as Lloydy said earlier on, if you want to find us on Facebook in the Facebook group, we're at Squared Circle Relics Pod on Facebook. Come join the group. We do Wrestling Card Wednesday. We've got our buy, sell, and trade nights each Friday. So pick up some deals from the guys in the group. Again, everyone in the group we can vouch for. We pretty much know everyone in there, so you shouldn't come across any issues. So come join us in there, have a bit of fun. And for me personally, if you want to find me, I'm on Twitter. I'm at Jamie Stocker. And reach out to me if you need to. Lloydy, over you finish off.
And I would say as well, with that last bit you were just saying as well, if you have, obviously Panini Adrenalyn XL is out in the shops over here, so you quite regularly can find it. And if you want to try and complete it, and if you've got swaps that you want to do some trading on your swaps and stuff like that, feel free. Come into, if you want to do it, come into our Facebook group and ask and see if anyone wants to do that with you. We did, when we did the stickers, we obviously, were quite active getting people full sets. We're not doing that this time around. It's, we're more than happy to house with regarding...
I think we'll pin a post, can't we? And people just do their own threads.
We can pin a post. It all depends on how many people are asking to do it, right? But ultimately, I think there's been one so far in our group. But if you want to do it, cool. We can set something up. But I'm not managing it.
No, that's
not
fine.
Like we did last time. No way. We're on Twitter. So at SCR Pod. I always get it the wrong way around. So we're on Twitter, still there for now. I'm on Instagram, so at D_Lloydy boy. At D_Lloydy doesn't sound right for us. D_Lloydy boy. On the Insta, nobody loves me. No, I say that. Matt sent me something nice.
Way, the streak is over.
No, it's not. I know him. It's just, yeah, like he sometimes sends me something on Instagram, like a funny photo or something like that. So that was nice today. So I saw that. Yeah, I think that's it from me. Nice. Really, I don't think there's much more to cover. Next time round, no idea at the minute. Like what we're doing, we need to speak to Chris, obviously, and figure out what we're going to do for next
top
time.
Fives.
Well, it's either Chris is doing the show the next time round or yourself, Jamie. So I probably, let's say, Jamie, you're doing the next show. It's up to you if you want to do a top 5 or not. Probably best we do, but I don't know what you want to do. Fine. We could do golds.
Well, I'll think. Have a think.
Have a think. I think that's it.
Fine. All right.
Okay.
Lloydy, nice to see you again. I'll see you in a couple of weeks then.
See you later, mate. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, Jamie.
Yeah?
Jamie, before we go, do you know John Cena?
I've heard of him.
Fuck him. And Gelman.